Hey folks, Justin Thomas here with Turn Left Motorsports. Thank you for clicking on my video. This is my second feature in these late models at Berlin Raceway, Mother's Day race. First 5 minutes of this thing, pretty exciting. There's some good racing going around me. The middle of this race gets really drawn out, and then there's a final restart at the end. But here, I'm gonna go quiet for a second. Something happens here in the back stretch. Watch about 3 or 4 cars ahead of me on the high line of that black car. That was Tyler Lupton, the number 4T. He got second place on the icebreaker. I'll stay quiet through this restart for a bit, but about 5 minutes in, I'll start talking a little more if you're curious about my day when things start to get a little stretched out. So, yeah, enjoy this, and maybe you'll hear from me here in a few minutes if you keep watching the video. again. Now things are getting a little stretched out here, at least they will be in a second. I'm gonna take you through my whole day quickly if you're curious. And if you're not curious, sorry, you're gonna have to hear my voice or skip ahead a few minutes. We started off in practice, running something like a 17.6, nothing too great, but the track was a little slow. We were on our tires from the icebreaker, so we were on pretty old tires. A lot of teams mock up for practice. I will not spend $780 some on tires to practice qualifying. Just, we're not there to do that. So yeah, we ran like a 17.6, nothing special, towards the back of the pack, and I come to find out I hit an inch and a half of stagger on that set of tires, so I was pretty tight. Qualifying, we went out on a set of tires that had 2 inches of stagger in the rear and an inch and a half in the front. And after qualifying, both numbers were over 3 inches. Huge growth, and yeah, these tires have been wildly inconsistent. You just, at this point, I don't even know why I'm measuring stagger beforehand, because it doesn't seem to matter. There's also been some concern with these McCreary's about manufacturing defects. There's a little contact there between the 14 and the 27, but they're going to keep rolling here. But yeah, so these McCreary tires, I know Austin Hall had a practice on Friday, and his right rear had like balloon bubbling on the top of the sidewall. And then after his qualifying, he had a big chunk missing from his tire. I believe Joe Bush also had a tire issue. And when I was beating up my forward tires for this race, I noticed on the sidewall one of my tires looked like there's little pieces of rubber missing, like they didn't spray mold release in that one part of the mold when they made that tire. So I sent that tire back. And yeah, these tires, us drivers are turning into like quality control for McCreary here, it seems like. So yeah, we did some finagling after qualifying with our tires to try to get our stagger a little less crazy in the rear, and between air pressures and moving tires around. And this is the first time I've ever had one of these cars loose, and normally I don't like loose, but these cars are kind of fun to drive loose. On the exit here, it just kind of feels like a dirt mod. The way you just chase it up the track, you embrace the loose and you pedal through it and just, like I said, steer up the track like you see me do right there. Yeah, I think the laps in the dirt mod really prepared me for that aspect of this. There's a few moments I get loose here in the 3. I really think that's me just driving in too deep and being a little tight and making it loose. But yeah, heck of an experience there, driving a loose car. I liked it. Makes me less scared to have big stagger numbers now. So we started, I think we qualified 14th. We actually started 12th because both Joe Bush and Austin Hall had to go to the back. That's me throwing on my little cool suit there. Sorry, getting distracted here. That cool suit I made a video on. It worked really well yesterday. Yeah, I flip it on, count about 10, and all of a sudden it was relief. My back was cold. It was great. I don't know how well that small tank will last for the big races, but we'll see. So yeah, we started 12th, basically ran in the 12th, 14th place all day, and we brought it home 13th. 98% of my day was following Ken Wamba around this track. So yeah, the middle of this race, a little dry, just logging laps. My main goals for today were to bring home a clean car, which we did, and to finish on the lead lap. Coming to about, I would say 12-15 to go, my spotter Tristan comes over and says, hey, leader's getting in striking distance to you. We picked up the pace a little bit and kept him at bay, and then I think about 6 or 7 to go, there was a caution in the front stretch. Speaking of that caution, the final restart is at 21 minutes and 40 seconds. So if you don't want to watch all these laps getting logged, go jump to that at least and watch that final restart. So yeah, we managed to keep on the lead lap. Learned a ton today and kept the car clean. So we'll more than likely be back at it in 2 weeks. For the late models have next week off at Berlin, but the following week we'll be back at it. So I more than likely will be there. At this point, I'm going to be done talking. If you made it this far, you should subscribe if you haven't already. Don't hesitate to hit that like button. It helps me out. And leave a comment. I don't care what the comment is. Comments help me out, and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Enjoy.